今年到6月份，中国的所有汽车制造。
Recently, former Chongqing Mayor Huang Qifan made sensational remarks that caused quite a stir in China on July 13th. His statements were so striking that they landed on the country's trending list. At the 2025 Beike Financial Annual Conference, which opened on July 10th, Huang Qifan explained that the Chinese automobile manufacturing industry is usually considered to be one of the more profitable sectors in manufacturing. However, as of June this year, the industry's profit margin was only 5%. In fact, the total profit from selling 30 million cars in China still doesn't compare to the profits Toyota made from just 9 million cars. Huang Qifan's comments seemed at odds with the usual self-praise and exaggerated claims often made by the Chinese government, which sparked heated discussions among online users. Many videos praising Toyota appeared on the internet. In China, openly praising Japanese companies can be risky for some online commentators, especially for those who support China's interests. For many of these little pinks and 50-cent army, praising Japan is equivalent to criticizing China, and it can lead to severe backlash. Accounts can be criticized, or worse, banned.
It may be hard to believe, but our country's profit from selling 30 million cars is actually less than Toyota's profit from selling 9 million cars. What's the reason behind this? I don't know all the details, but let me share my thoughts briefly. I worked at Volkswagen for 8 years, and back then, Volkswagen was trying to copy the Toyota model. Toyota's model is really impressive. It's very meticulous. Look at our domestic independent brands like NIO, Xiaomi, Li Auto, and others. They're all trash. They talk about how advanced their factories and equipment are, but so what? It's useless. The Toyota model is what's really important. What is the Toyota model? Here's a simple example. When I work, if I need materials from a certain spot, I have to walk a few steps. Toyota actually calculates exactly how many steps you need to walk. That's how precise they are. Some things just can't be copied. They implement every reasonable suggestion down to the smallest detail. I really dislike Chinese car companies because they only talk about their factories and equipment. They're just copying Toyota. Let me give you another example. In the past, if you needed to secure something, you would just use a bolt and screw, but Toyota uses clips, which achieves the same strength and durability. This saves materials, reduces costs, lightens the car, and makes it easier to disassemble. So compared to foreign companies, Chinese businesses still have a long way to go.
Another blogger added, many car companies can't even reach the manufacturing standards of Toyota for something as simple as a screw. Toyota has already turned its manufacturing processes into a textbook. Every part on their cars has its own unique and rational production process. Take the screws in the engine, for example. Their manufacturing standard is at the level of the 20th century. With just a light twist of a wrench, you hear a click, and the first engagement of the screw comes undone. After that, you can easily unscrew it with your hand. The manufacturing standards set by Toyota are considered extraordinarily advanced globally. Anyone who has worked on a Toyota car knows that the purple screws in the Toyota cabin have become a legendary symbol in the industry. These screws meet aviation standards, and the famous Airbus A320 uses this type of screw. Netizens point out that in the past, it would have been unimaginable to express such pro-Japanese sentiments on platforms in China, but now even high-ranking Chinese officials are leading the way in sharing such information, which has encouraged many others to follow suit. The latest official economic data has caused a collective silence among Chinese car manufacturers. According to IT Home's report on July 10th, Toyota announced its financial results for the fiscal year 2025, covering the period from April 2024 to March 2025. The net profit reached $32 billion. Meanwhile, according to media platform Dear Auto's statistics on the Chinese automotive industry, among the 18 listed passenger car companies in China, only 13 achieved profitability in 2024, with a combined net profit of just $17 billion. After accounting for the 5 companies with losses, the total net profit of China's listed passenger car companies dropped by 4.6 billion yuan, bringing the total to less than 12.5 billion yuan, just 40% of Toyota's annual output. Looking at profits per vehicle, Toyota's global sales in fiscal year 2025 are expected to reach 10.4 million vehicles, with a per-vehicle profit of around $3,190. In comparison, China's automobile giant BYD has a per-vehicle profit of just 1,310 yuan, or $182. So why is it that Chinese car manufacturers, especially those in the electric vehicle sector, are so inefficient despite the huge subsidies they receive from the government? Where's all their money and profit going? In reality, China's car manufacturers have invested most of their funds and energy in the following three areas. 1. Advertising gimmicks and promotion. Some Chinese car companies, particularly those in the EV sector, spend a huge amount of money on marketing, launching eye-catching but practically meaningless features. These features increase the cost of the car but fail to improve quality or the driving experience, ultimately leading to a decrease in customer trust in the brand. For example, some versions of BYD's Han EV come equipped with a 15.6-inch rotating central control screen, promoted for its entertainment features like video playback and gaming. However, these functions are often criticized as meaningless gimmicks in real-world use. The car's mini-fridge is small, consumes too much power, and has limited practicality. Additionally, the large screen can distract the driver while driving, increasing safety risks. Many users on X have pointed out that these features are designed to attract younger consumers, but the durability and practicality during long-term use are poor. These Chinese netizens have been particularly harsh in their reviews. One user commented,
Now, the new energy cars look more and more high-tech, but many features are just counterintuitive. Adjusting the air conditioning used to be easy, but now many new energy cars make you do it through a giant screen, and it's really hard to use. For example, the air vent is right in front of you, but you can't adjust the airflow direction. To add so-called tech vibes, they put that feature in the big screen, and the sliding adjustment effect doesn't work well.
The blogger demonstrated that turning on and adjusting the air conditioning took over 30 seconds, and using voice control took the same amount of time. The blogger mentioned that this was with a car they were very familiar with, and if an unfamiliar person were operating it, it would take even longer. Another widely ridiculed feature is the electric car's dance function, criticized as a pure marketing gimmick. Not only is it useless for actual driving, but it could also cause wear on the suspension system and affect the vehicle's structural stability. It's a feature that serves no purpose other than attracting attention. For example, the BYD Yangwang U9 has been seen performing a twisting, jumping motion on the streets. Many netizens have asked what this bizarre display is meant to express. Besides embarrassing the female passenger and causing traffic jams, what's the point of it? For example, Great Wall Motors' Tank 300 has been widely promoted by Chinese media as a rugged off-road vehicle with exceptional capabilities. The company invested heavily in marketing, and during a public event, a woman performed a crazy dance on top of the Tank 300 before jumping into the passenger seat as the vehicle began its hill climbing stunt. Unexpectedly, the vehicle flipped over on the spot, turning 180 degrees. Fortunately, no one was injured. The video was uploaded online, and netizens began questioning the manufacturer's exaggerated claims, accusing them of reaping what they sowed. One user commented, "The manufacturer intended to create a ripple effect with the stunt to launch a limited edition priced at 338,000 yuan, but after the vehicle flipped, they couldn't even sell the car for 200,000 yuan. They really shot themselves in the foot." 2. Bottomless price wars. Starting in 2023, BYD caused a stir in the industry with significant price cuts, such as for their cheapest model, the Seagull. Starting in May 2025, its original price of nearly $10,000 was drastically reduced to around $7,700. This move prompted other car manufacturers such as Geely and Chery to follow suit, igniting a fierce price war that resulted in a significant drop in overall industry profit margins. Reports suggest that by the end of November 2024, the Chinese new car market had lost approximately $24.7 billion due to the price war. At the same time, the price war led to an accumulation of unsold inventory, with passenger car stock reaching as high as 3.5 million units in April 2025. A large number of new cars were left unused in fields, and some were even sold as zero-kilometer used cars at low prices or left idle. The relentless price war has caused a decline in company profits and reduced production costs, which has put pressure on supply chain quality, severely impacting vehicle quality control. The backlog of unsold cars and inventory accumulation reflects poor market forecasting. Scandals like the zero-kilometer used cars have damaged the reputation of the entire Chinese automotive industry, wasted significant resources, and increased financial pressure on car companies, further cutting investments in quality and research and development. public relations instead of service. Many Chinese car manufacturers, when faced with quality issues, tend to suppress negative voices through public relations tactics instead of genuinely addressing the problems. This includes hiring online trolls to spread misleading information, spending large amounts of money to delete negative reviews, and even pressuring or suing users who complain. On February 23rd of this year, a well-known car repair influencer in Beijing, Brother Long, who had over 10 years of experience, was sued by 3 car companies for sharing repair tips on social media. By doing so, he pointed out design flaws in certain car models. The companies demanded 7 million yuan in damages. In a video, he explained,
Guys, I've been sued again. They want me to pay 1 million yuan. I'm not even allowed to publicly apologize. If they don't want me to apologize, then why sue me? Are car companies really this desperate now, relying on suing a mechanic like me to make ends meet?
Why were they forbidding him from apologizing? One netizen provided the typical answer. If you don't apologize, we won't know that some cars are not up to standard. Now that you're constantly reviewing, the whole country knows about it. In another video, Brother Long said,
Guys, I've received a lawsuit from a car company in Guangzhou. This is the 3rd car company to sue me. These 3 have teamed up to treat me like a cash cow. The saddest mechanic of 2025 will be me. I make these repair videos simply to help people save money and avoid pitfalls. I didn't expect to help car companies' legal departments meet their targets. I hope everyone can see me as a cautionary tale and stop criticizing these car companies, even if it's the truth.
Some netizens comforted him, saying, "You're not the worst. 2 other mechanics have already been taken into custody." In June this year, a car owner was locked up for 7 days after complaining about BYD's car. In a video, the man, stuck in the middle of the road, explained,
I bought a Tang Shi, and it's a complete embarrassment. I just came back from Shanghai, and the fuel ran out. Now, I'm less than 500 meters away from my house, with 17% battery left, but the car won't respond. It left me stranded at an intersection.
He concluded, "What a disaster this domestic car is." Unexpectedly, his comments caused him a lot of trouble. In a follow-up video, the car owner revealed that this video about the Changshi breaking down halfway received 3.5 million views. He didn't know what he did wrong, but he ended up being locked up for a week and was only just released. In recent years, Chinese electric vehicle companies have gained a competitive edge in the global market through massive state subsidies, allowing them to offer low prices. The industry's supply chain expanded rapidly, but this also led to a series of negative incidents, including fires, door malfunctions, and fatal accidents. Despite this, the authorities consistently suppress criticism, and car companies go to great lengths to silence everyone, including the media, independent journalists, and even consumers. Even official educational accounts are not spared. One netizen commented, "Chinese car companies have truly learned the essence of the CCP. Never solve the problem, just eliminate the people who raise the issue. Can such companies make good cars?" An automotive mechanical structure design engineer from Guangxi, Huang Qifan, stated, "The main gap between Chinese cars and foreign ones lies in performance, safety, and quality. For example, in China, BYD targets models like Toyota Corolla and Volkswagen Jetta, but the performance of domestic cars lags far behind imported ones. Take the same car model. A domestic car might only last 2 or 3 years before issues start to appear like rusting chassis, loose parts, and strange noises. But for foreign brands like Toyota and Volkswagen, such problems typically won't show up within the first 2 or 3 years. Take BYD's car that dances. I think that's an unbelievable design concept. Why? Because the torsional movement requires a lot of transmission components, which sacrifices the car's crash resistance and overall performance. Why are Chinese cars increasingly focused on flashy designs rather than safety? Huang Qifan believes that the root cause lies largely in the system. The government seeks quick results, which leads them to guide and even encourage companies in this direction. There's also systemic corruption in areas like materials and procurement. Huang revealed that procurement departments are a major hotspot for corruption in the automotive industry. Manufacturing cars involves at least 1,000 types of materials, and with intense competition among many suppliers, bribery becomes a common practice. When procurement staff receive kickbacks, they turn a blind eye to the quality of the materials, which creates potential safety risks in car components. Netizens commented that Chinese car companies have long neglected quality, focusing instead on unethical methods and lacking media oversight. This has ultimately led to the current state of Chinese car manufacturers. Recently, data from the London Stock Exchange revealed that under the pressure of overcapacity and a brutal price war, the profits of Chinese car manufacturers have plummeted, with key financial indicators generally deteriorating. Over the past 6 years, the 33 Chinese-listed car manufacturers included in the statistics have accumulated nearly 1 trillion yuan in total debt. The median profit margin has dropped sharply from 2.7% in 2019 to just 0.83% in 2024. Meanwhile, the total inventory in the industry has doubled over these past 6 years, reaching 370 billion yuan by 2024. During the same period, the total debt of car manufacturers surged to 959 billion yuan, a 56% increase compared to 2019. Last year, the median debt-to-equity ratio climbed to 51.3%, up 21% from 2019. Additionally, Chinese car manufacturers are taking longer to pay their suppliers and other short-term creditors. The average payment time has increased from 99 days in 2019 to 108 days in 2024. Among the giants of China's EV industry, BYD, for example, took an average of 127 days to pay its suppliers and short-term creditors in 2024. NIO and XPeng took even longer, with payment times of 223 days and 237 days, respectively. Reuters reported that European and German automotive parts suppliers typically receive payment from car manufacturers within 40 to 50 days. The report attributes the severe debt crisis in China's automotive industry to the combination of overcapacity and aggressive price wars. Earlier, the Financial Times reported in mid-June that among the 16 major Chinese-listed car companies, over one-third of these companies would have liabilities exceeding their assets by the end of 2024, forcing them to pressure suppliers to maintain operating funds. Among them, BYD's issues were particularly noticeable. By the end of 2024, BYD's current assets are estimated at 371 billion yuan, while its current liabilities will reach 496 billion yuan, creating a working capital deficit of 125.4 billion yuan, an increase of 36% from 2 years ago. The report also mentioned that in the first quarter of this year, the average profit margin of Chinese car manufacturers was 3.9%, a 0.7 percentage point decline from last year. It's expected that by 2026, a number of Chinese car companies will collapse in the first round of elimination due to liquidity crises. Some analysts point out that former high-ranking CCP officials comparing Chinese car manufacturers to Toyota is a clever move meant to boost their own image. Chinese car manufacturers, in terms of corporate spirit, manufacturing craftsmanship, and management attitude, do not deserve to be compared to Toyota. By comparing car companies producing industrial waste with the world's best, even if they lose, they still elevate themselves. However, this statement likely serves a political purpose. The CCP authorities may have already realized the enormous crisis looming over Chinese car companies. With the ongoing economic downturn, government subsidies to car manufacturers may no longer be sustainable. The auto industry seems to be following the same pattern as the real estate sector's collapse. As a former high-ranking official in the CCP, former Chongqing Mayor Huang Qifan's remarks are likely signaling a major shift in government policy towards car companies and serving as a psychological warning to the public about the potential collapse of the industry.